Hello, everyone. I'm actually in my bed right now. Just woke up, just meditated, and had the thought, wow, I have not sent an email out to my email list since the summer of 2025. I think it was August, just before I had a live stream, and then I just went into my own world, you know. I have done a few YouTube shorts, so if you haven't seen those are there. I don't remember what they are. I'll see if I can put together a list before I send the email out where I'm sharing this audio. So I feel like I have so much to share that I'll need to give myself space to share it. And I'm not talking about human stories to share, by the way. I have plenty of human experiences that I could share, but that's becoming less and less relevant for me. What's more relevant for me is, what did I gain from those experiences? How did I expand from those experiences? And how can I help others as a result of moving through those life events and experiences, you know? So old Allison would have been thrilled to give you the play-by-play of different experiences that I have moved through and then share all that I have learned, you know? What feels more relevant for me right now is when I do move into sharing, it'll be just a buffet of spiritually elevating insights, you know, because that's what it was for me and continues to be. Just an ongoing buffet of insights from the non-physical beings that are here to support me through this journey, through this lifetime. And I am doing amazing. I am doing well. I'm doing amazing. As I move through different life events, interesting life events. Oh, so much to share. I'm not gonna go into sharing right now, but I'm sure at some point I will share. So what's been happening for me is I feel like I'm in a sabbatical of receiving, is what I'll call it. A sabbatical of receiving. What I mean by that is I feel like I'm being held, cared for, supported, loved, expanded, shown so many things, remembering the truth of who I am, remembering so many aspects of my true self, my true nature, and applying it to my life experiences as I move through life, you know? It's such a feeling of being beautifully supported by the divine beings. I call my divine beings Team Allison. We all have a team that came to support us through this lifetime, you know? One of the insights that I'll share with you is that, you know how we can be in the place where we're like, I know what to do if contrast appears. I know how to move through it. You know, I know how to meditate my way through it or process my way through it or whatever, you know, which is cool. It's fine. It's beautiful. But man, am I ever expanding in the experience of, oh, I'm not doing this by myself. It's not me doing a process and I have to do this process until something goes away, or even the need to make anything go away is sort of dissipating, you know, in terms of contrast. So much more to share about that too. But there is this deepening of, oh, it's me and my team. Oh, here's this life event. Here's this experience. Here's this moment of contrast. Here's this moment of fear. Here's this moment of doubt. Here's this moment of concern. Here's this moment of whatever contrasting experiences occur. And now me and my team are going to move through it together, not, oh, what do I need to do? I, Allison, I, the human, need to do. It has expanded way beyond that, And so I'm enjoying the richness of doing life with my team in a more integrated way, where I'm not just thinking of what do I need to do. It's more of what are we doing with this one, and such an integrated, rich way of experiencing this life. So that's kind of what's going on for me right now. And I know when it's time for me to share, because I feel like wild horses cannot prevent me from doing a live stream or a video, right? It feels like an urgency of I've got to turn on the camera and share this, right? And that has not been happening. I've been more inner focused, even though I know there's a large buffet of things that I want to share with you. And I have been taking notes. So I have been writing different things that I want to share with you. So the buffet is getting longer and longer and longer and longer and longer. And I don't, it's okay. I don't know how much of that I'm going to share. I will let Spirit lead me when it's time to share. So it's not that I don't want to share, and it's not that anything has gone wrong. It's just that, and it's not that I am, not going to be co-creating with you all at some point in future. Again, it's just that I am in a sabbatical of receiving so much that's where my focus is just relearning who I am, and that is expanding in the deepest and richest of ways. And I'm so enjoying that experience and experiencing contrast in new and different ways, and that's been amazing as well. So I'm just in a sabbatical of receiving, where my focus is on my own inner growth, my own inner expansion, deepening, and it's been beautiful. And when I do return, I'm sure there'll be a tremendous degree of clarity on how to share and, and what means to share. Because I don't know if it's going to be videos or a series of live streams or, getting a small group of you together to experiment with the many things that are on the buffet to experiment with, And that's another nugget that has really been clear for me, is that any videos that I put out, it's just another buffet item that anyone can experiment with, because sometimes we move through life and we're like, we're looking for the thing that will help us either never experience contrast again, which is kind of silly because we signed up for Earth and it comes with contrast. So contrast will always be a part of our experience, How can we master the art of moving through it such that we're not self-denigrating, feeling like we did something wrong, feeling like we have to get rid of it, all of those things can feel a bit overwhelming. How about we just be with it and kind of hang out with our team and go, hey, this is an interesting one to move through. How are we gonna do this? So yeah, it's we kind of move through life sometimes looking for a way out, always looking for a way out of contrast, and that's okay too. Wherever we are is fine. I don't think there's any wrong way, but there's just an endless buffet of ways to move through different life experiences. And so my point is, whenever I share a video with you, please regard it as just another buffet item. It's just another buffet item, just another thing to experiment with. It may or may not resonate. It's not the way. It's not the one thing you have to learn to do, one thing that I have learned in the last few months is that working as a team with my non-physical co-created, I don't have to wonder what how to move through different things. It's given to me. It's just given. It's like in the moment that I need something, it's given to me. And I don't have to hold on to what I've been given in the past, I don't have to hold on to things. Like sometimes we hold on to a video that we got, which is fine, if it helps you to repeat listening to a video, because I've done that too, that's cool too. But I'm also learning that in the moment that I need support, it is given. In whatever way I need to receive it, it is given. And the buffet is endless. It never ends, which is why there are so many spiritual videos out there in the world, It's just a never-ending buffet, And I think it's in our best interest to regard all of the spiritual videos that we look at, watch, whatever, as not as, oh, this is the thing that's going to help me make my life better, or, oh, this is the teaching that I need to follow to make my life better. Oh, this is the teacher that I need to follow to make my life better. This is the person I need to subscribe to because they have the answer because blah, 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 right? We're always looking for the one thing. And I'm here to remind you that there is no one thing. It's just a buffet. Life provides us a buffet of spiritual teachers, a buffet of spiritual teachings, a buffet of practices to experiment with, a buffet of processes to experiment with. It never ends. And so if we move through life just feeling like, oh, here's another buffet item, let me see. Does it resonate? Do I want to experiment with it? And experimenting has become a really big player in my life experience as well, where there is no one thing. I'm just experimenting with this for now. Ooh, this looks interesting. I'm going to experiment with that for now. Ooh, that's interesting. I'm going to experiment with that for now. More recently, with the Walk for Peace, which I've been obsessively into, I've watched every single talk and every single day I listen to a talk. It's come to an end now, but I watched Bhikkhu Panakara say in every single talk, wake up in the morning, write down, this is my peaceful day, and no one can mess it up. Listened to him for 5-7 days saying that, didn't do it. And then all of a sudden I was like, I wonder what would happen if you did that. And I sat down every single day and wrote it out and experimented with what that did in my life, right? Share more about that another time. But that's how life is. I don't see that practice as the way to be peaceful, right? Although he's very passionate about that, which is cool because it's changed millions of people's lives, myself included. And I'll share some insights later on how that impacted me, that Walk for Peace impacted me. But there's no one thing, right? But I just felt inspired to experiment with that and see what would happen. And I think if we look at every practice, every process, every tool, every technique, every thing that we get into spiritually as, oh, another buffet item, I'm going to experiment with this and see what happens. Then we're more playful. We're more creative. We're more curious. I wonder if I did this, what would happen? Not, oh, I think I'm going to do this so I can feel peaceful, or I got to do this so the world is more at peace. It's like, even though that's kind of his message, but he's just sharing. I'm sure he has plenty on his buffet as well that he can share, I heard him say that he's going to be doing talks forever. If you go to his Facebook page or website or whatever, the Walk for Peace ended, but he's going to be doing meditations on a daily basis and people can experience that, So and I'm sure he's going to be offering more on the buffet beside the writing down every day, this is my peaceful day. You know what I mean? So if we regard everything as, oh, this looks interesting, I feel inspired by that, I feel tuned into that, I feel interested in that, I think I'm going to experiment and see what happens. And then we experiment, we see what happens, and then it sort of makes its way out of our experience or seeps into our experience and becomes us, and then something else feels interesting to explore and experiment with and see what happens, And I think if we see all practices and processes like that, experiment with it and see what happens. It's just a buffet, another buffet item. Cool, I'm going to see what that is, experiment with it, see what happens, And just be this curious kid moving through life, Anyway, I've been jabbering. Today is my meal prep day, so I'm going to get out of bed now and go cook my meals for the week. I just wanted to touch bases because I noticed that I had not sent an email out to my email list in over 6 months. Yeah, I think it's been 6 months. But whenever life calls me back to do live streams and more videos, I will be back and I will be excited to share. One thing that's funny is the last YouTube short that I did, I said, I have so much to share. And then I disappeared for 2 months. I'm just allowing life to lead me, and right now life is leading me into a depth of self-awareness and inner focus. That's kind of where I'm marinating right now. And then, life may call me back to doing live streams and videos, and then I'll do that, right? And then life may call me into something else, and then I'll do that. There's a few things that I'm playing with right now in life. So, yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a quick update as to why I've been gone. And I know you're not seeing my face, but right now I'm sitting in bed with my wake-up face, and I didn't feel like doing anything to create a video, but felt inspired to share. So, yeah, that's where I'm at right now, and I'll be back later on. All right? You guys take care. And you know where to reach me, If you feel like you need to be supported, you know where to reach me, right? You know where to reach me. One of the things that I have been doing with people is rather than doing one-on-ones, if you reach out to me at AlisonPhillips.tv/ask, I will more than likely send you an audio response to whatever you feel you need to be supported in. So that's available. I hope you all are doing well. I hope you're doing well. And, if you feel like you need to be supported, I am still here for that. Even though my main focus right now is my own inner expansion, I am still here for that. I may do it in a different way. I may not schedule a Zoom one-on-one, but I may send you a personal audio response to whatever you're moving through. I'm happy to do that. Still happy to do that, So don't think that I don't want to interact with you. If you are out there hearing the sound of my voice and you're like, I want to share this with you, Allison, and see what insights that you may receive and want to share with me on this thing that I'm going through, I am happy to do that. You guys know I'm here, and it's free, and I'm here to support you if you need that. So don't think that I don't want to interact. If you feel like you feel inspired to reach out to me to share something, to ask a question, or to request support, I am still here. I may do it in a different way. I may not schedule a Zoom. I may do an audio response. That's kind of where I'm at right now. It's what I've been doing for the last few months anyway with people, is just audio responding. Just basically reading what you're sending me and sending you an audio response. That's what feels resonant right now. Anyway, again, I've been blabbering. Time to get out of this bed and go meal prep for the week. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.